Welcome to the Lawless Astrology channel. My name is Dabney and I'm an evolutionary astrologer. Today we're going to be talking about the new moon happening in Virgo on August 22nd, 23rd, depending on your time zone, so in the wee hours of the morning. But that energy will be with us for several weeks. We are going to have two new moons in Virgo. One in September 21st, and then this first one. The one on September 21st is an eclipse. So this to me ties in that we are beginning the eclipse season, even though this is technically not an eclipse. I think what this is a foreshadowing. It is a beginning. This new moon will be at 0 Virgo, and the other one will be at 29 Virgo. So what that tells me is, I believe it's at 29. So we're looking at like something very important, that it's being bookended in the very beginning and at the very end. Okay, so I'm going to talk about how we can handle this energy, what this is all about. So if that's content you're interested in, I hope you stick around. If you're new to this channel, what I do is I take the cosmic energy above and I try to bring it down below. I look at the planets and what's going on and how we can make sense of all of it down here and how we can live a more peace-filled and conscious life. So that's what we're doing here. If you are new to my channel too, please do subscribe. Give comments, like, if you can post it places. It does make a huge difference. And for whatever reason, my last few videos have not been in the algorithm. Like, people who comment on every single one of my videos have not been commenting. So something is amiss, and I've noticed my viewership has gone down. So yeah, anything you can do to help boost me up again, I would so appreciate it. I don't know if I'm being shadow banned for some of my political views or what's happening, or if it's just a change in the algorithm, which is probably more likely. But yeah. Okay, this is a very big new moon. All right, so as a reminder, new moons are a chance to have a fresh start. They are a chance to plant seeds of intention. They're a chance to give yourself a North Star that you are headed towards. So you may not be where you want to be, but it's kind of an initiation. You're in the dark of the moon. And so a new moon is like, there is all this potential, so think about the darkness of the moon, but you can't see anything. Well, there's potentially a ton of things out there. There could be monsters. There could be gift baskets. There could be, diamond rings like buried in the sand. Like, there is things you can't see yet. But if you set your intention to manifest something, if you set your intention that this is where I want to go, if you get real with yourself, this process can begin and kick off really with the right energy when it comes to a new moon. Now, it's different than a full moon. The full moon, we see things much more clearer. Secrets come to light. Information is revealed. We get the fruits of our labor. So it's a different energy. Okay. Let's go back. Virgo. I have a Virgo moon. Those of you that are with me often know this. So I know this energy really well. Virgo is about health. Virgo is about plans. Virgo is about the ideal, okay? It is about making things as good as they can get. It is about being in your body and knowing what is right and what is wrong and feeling into that. People don't talk much about the grounded sense of Virgo, okay? But Virgo has a plan, okay? High Virgo gets things done. High Virgo says, this doesn't feel right. It could be better. This is how it should be. Okay. It's about the shoulds in some ways. So that can go bad too. Negative Virgo could be, I should have done this. I should have done that. I'm not good enough. And it's like this negativity, like train of thought that can manifest in you being very critical of yourself because you're not living up to your own ideal expectations. Okay, so let's bring it back into where we're going with this Virgo new moon and what I think is so important right now. So I'm titling this video Time for a Plan because it's time to get real. Okay, I've been feeling this myself. It is where we see things are off track. Okay, so we all can see that the world is kind of imploding and things are really off track collectively. Okay, we have wars going on, we have, genocide, starvation, we've got, like authoritarian takeover. We've got all sorts of craziness going on, right? But it doesn't really matter what your politics are. I think intuitively, anybody that tunes in right now knows that we are in a very destabilized time. And I've gone, and you can look at some of my past videos about what I think this destabilization is about, what I think will end up happening, what is the bigger picture of it, okay? So, but that's not this video. This video is actually much more personal. I want you to tune into you. I want you to tune into your life and where things may feel off track in your own life. Now, it's really easy, and I know I fall into it, okay? Where I see everything falling apart around me and the empath in me wants to fix it. The empath in me wants to, just my heart is breaking, okay? All that's happening, I am ingesting so much toxic energy. And I think people can relate to that, where it's a toxicity overload, whether it's through the news or social media or, arguments with family members, like whatever, like a toxic work environment, right? The destabilization and change is bringing out the worst elements in some ways because it needs to be purged. Okay, so don't be surprised if things are really in your face right now. Like, your job is coming to an end. Your health is suffering. I know that this past week, I've personally had physical symptoms definitely related to my energetic connections with other people and what's happening in my personal life. I think more so my personal life, but it's exacerbated by the destability all around us. So if you can relate to that, that's very Virgo. Virgo is the body. Virgo honors the body. Virgo is ruled by Artemis, and she's a protector of women and children. Okay, so things are not feeling so hot for women and children right now. So we can't control any of that. This new moon in Virgo is saying, what in your life can you control? Virgo is about control. On the high and the low side, it can overdo it and be controlling, or it can be, that's the low side. The high side is getting things under control when things already feel out of control. There's a sense that sometimes we need to bring it back. We need to bring it back to basics, okay? Virgo is everyday activities. It's your routines. It's your habits. So where have you gotten into bad habits? Because, I, for one, I've gained 10 pounds in the past year. I have not been able to commit myself to fully eating healthy because I've been so stressed, okay? Well, that needs to go away. That needs to end. So where in your life? Is it drinking? Is it smoking? Is it, scrolling on social media? What are the bad habits that you have developed that have been making it so you're not your best self? This new moon is a planning time. It's a plan to get back to your best version of yourself, because by the time we hit that eclipse, big things are going to be moving and shaking for everybody. That eclipse will bring changes. It will bring more destabilization. It will bring things to light when it comes to things like your jobs, things like health. Okay, so this is the time we're embarking upon this new moon in Virgo, where I want you to look at what are your habits. What are the bad habits that you have developed that have been brought on by stress or have been just brought on by not paying attention or laziness, whatever it is, okay? I want you to really take stock right now. Virgo analyzes things. I want you to actually be a little selfish right now and analyze yourself and where things just have gotten off track for you personally. Now is the time to make a plan and make a change. This Virgo new moon is supporting you in making a change. It is going to be squared by Uranus and Gemini. Okay? Now, the square means it's not going to be easy. It's going to be work. It's going to be hard. But Uranus wants you to change the way you think, wants you to do something new. So something new is being born. Okay? It may feel like everything is out of control in your life, or it may feel like I said, like you're hyper controlling. So I've got a little of both of those things going on, I would say. And so, I sat down and I actually, I don't use AI very often. If you've watched some of my other videos, like I have, I really have some issues with AI for a lot of reasons, but I did use it last night. I plugged into ChatGPT about helping to give me a new routine with the gyms that I belong to, and to help, take my diet, like what I'm eating, and give me some new ideas because I'm sick of what I'm eating. Okay. So that's just one example, but like the Uranus and Gemini, you can use that to your advantage if you recognize that it's time to shed your old habits and old patterns and do something different. Around us, we may see some things around jobs. So we just had that jobs report that was different than what people were expecting, and it was worse. Okay. There are layoffs taking place. I have a lot of people in my life who have lost their jobs or are struggling to find a new job, who's, again, the destabilization. So new technologies like AI, have come in, and they are making it easier for people's jobs to be eliminated. That's not just AI. There's a lot of things going on that are conspiring to bring us into this new realm that we're going to be in 2026. But understand that if you are a part of one of these downsizings, I anticipate there will be more. And so this is part of the whole collective thing that we are dealing with right now. And a Virgo new moon is saying, well, what else can you do? What is your actual authentic, true work in the world? Is what you were doing what you were supposed to be doing? Or was it just bringing in a paycheck? Okay. So I don't predict things. However, that is part of the imagery, is to look at this Uranus squaring the sun and the moon in Gemini. So the sun and the moon being in the Virgo Pisces axis, or no, they're conjunct. I'm sorry, it's in Virgo. It's a new moon. Excuse me. But I'm going to be talking more about the full moon stuff coming up. But the conjunction in Virgo with this square, there's pressure. There's pressure to change and evolve, and the technology is a part of the story. And the pressure to evolve to where we're going, and let go of the old story. Okay. But on your personal level, and I really do believe this has to get very personal, because Virgo is one of the personal planets in a lot of ways. It's about service and helping other people, but it's to your own soul's purpose. Okay. So this is an opportunity to see, where is your soul asking you to go? What is your soul's work versus the work that you potentially have just been doing to collect a paycheck? So that's one of the manifestations of this, okay? It also is a place where you need to look and figure out where you maybe have neglected your health, or you're not taking care of your body and your soul and the self-care. This is an opportunity for self-care, okay? I felt like last week I was just purging all sorts of toxic energy. My son, they're not giving me any money for this, but maybe I'll ask him to. My son bought me this thing called a brick, and I have a problem with reading the news too much. And so this brick is almost like child locks for the parent. So like after a certain time of the day, my son set it up for me that like I can't access the internet. So, you can override it if you really want to, but like, it's like I needed that child lock to say, no, this is toxic for you. Like you're feeling energetically drained. This is, Susan Lin did a great video about energy vampires. I feel like the energy vampires are out in force, and it is a time for self-care because it is going to accelerate. It's going to continue to become intense. It is going to continue to change. There is going to be an evolution taking place, and there's going to be things ending. So very shortly after, a couple weeks after, we're going to have the, like I said, eclipse season is beginning, and Saturn's moving back into Pisces. Okay. And to me, that marks the beginning of the time where we're going to recognize that some things need to end. We're going to wrap up a lot this fall into the winter because we are going off like a light speed, like a light rail, come like February. January, February begins. So once we go back where Neptune and Saturn are going back into Pisces, okay? And Uranus will go back into Taurus. That is old energy that we need to clean up and finalize and bring to completion. And that is going to be collectively, but in our own personal lives as well, because once we get to that February timeframe where we have the 0-degree conjunction between Neptune and Saturn in Aries at that anaretic degree, we are in a big, it is a world point. It is on. It's just on. And like, there's no going back at that point. There won't be any going back. So this is the time to make a plan. Okay. It's a time to make a plan for your finances. It is a time to make a plan for your moves. It is a time to make a plan if you need to buy a new car. It is time to make a plan if you want to break old patterns and habits that have been toxic for you. So, this is the time to really consider what is your soul's work, how you contribute to the world, not just take a paycheck. Virgo is not about surviving. Virgo is actually on the high side about thriving. Virgo is an ideal. It is an ideal self. Now, again, that ideal self can be overwhelming to the point where you become overly critical of yourself. You're not good enough. I should be this. I should be that. Instead of the healthy version. So I want you to lean into the healthy version. Right now, you cannot control anything around you. I argue we can't ever control anything around us, but we can control ourselves. And we can make a plan. And I want you to make a plan considering that we need to finish up old business that is no longer serving us. And we need to be poised and ready for the future that is going to come in 2026. Okay, so let's see. Is there anything else that I want to talk about? Again, I expect potentially some upheaval when it comes to things like, jobs. The jobs report, they fired the person that was reporting about that in the past. So I don't know what's really going to go on with that. This is just the beginning. I think we're in a process with eclipse season, but I want you to with this new moon, I want you to write down. Virgo likes to write things down. It's ruled by Mercury. Write down the things that need to change, where things could be better, and where you have an actionable plan to make them better. I was talking to some people not that long ago just about how all those stories about people on their deathbed, no one says, I wish I worked more. No one says, now granted we have to make a living, we have to survive, okay? So I'm not speaking to everyone with every single thing I say, okay? But if you hear that and you're like, I am working too much or I'm not paying attention to my family, then that's for you to understand that this is that opportunity, okay? Like I said, for me, like I spend way too much time ingesting the toxicity of other people's bad energy. I need to get an energetic clearing myself. I need to start to remember to do the self-care and healing myself. And then things are going to start to flow in a different way again. And I think that that's true for so many of us. So take stock of what are the things in your life that can be improved. Make a list. Virgo loves lists. Make that list. Then put action to it. That's high Virgo. And self-care is high Virgo too. So, book the massages, book, and if you can't afford that, I totally get it, but then go out for a walk in nature, go to the zoo. Virgo loves animals. Like do something that, volunteer at a shelter for where there's cats and dogs, like whatever your jam is, okay? Whatever's going to be healing to you, you've got to step into that and have like an actionable plan, okay? So for me, my actionable plan right now is like, I need to eat healthy. And I need to do less intense workouts because I think I'm taxing my body. I'm upping my cortisol with these like really intense workouts I've been doing for years. Like, so I'm going to take a step back, and I'm going to do things more like yoga and hikes in the woods. Really get real with yourself. Virgo's so good at self-improvement. Virgo is so good at getting real. Analyze yourself for a minute. Take the time. People don't think about Virgo as being intuitive, but it really is a body intuition. And I can tell you firsthand that my body was so like reacting to some of the things going around me. And I know a lot of you feel that. So the more in touch you are and the more sensitive you are with that, the more like you can get that message, that signal from your body that something's not right and you need to change something. This Uranus, it's uncomfortable, it's challenging, but it's change that's going to come at you if you're not proactive. So I want you to be proactive. I want you to call it out first. Like, if you ever watched the movie Neverending Story, I love that movie. It's so good. It's a kid's movie from the 80s, but it's not a kid's movie. It's so deep and so amazing. Shout out to Neverending Story. But, Bastian needs to call out the name. Like, call it out. Give it light. Bring it into manifestation. Call out what needs to change, what is not working for you. Bring awareness to it. Because if you don't, that Uranus is going to come in, and by the eclipse season, you're going to know what that was about. And like it may not be like the way you like it. It could be something very jarring and unpleasant. And so we don't want that. You want to call it out. It was like, Bastian, give me a name. Give it a name. Just give it a name, what needs to change in your personal life. I want you to take a break from all the chaos around us and get back to yourself, back to your body, back to your soul's work. Okay. I have a course coming up. So I don't have a link for it yet, but I'm going to do a course on Chiron, and it's going to be just a workshop, and it's going to be live. So for people who want to talk to me and want to interact with me and want me to look at their charts and stuff, this is going to be for you. Because it may be, depending on how many people we have, like webinar style, but it doesn't mean I won't be interacting with you and your chart. Okay, so I'm going to explain what Chiron is all about, because I think we have a lot of woundedness in this world, and I think we often don't know what to do with our wounds. And so this workshop is really about owning our Chiron and seeing how we can own our pain and we can own the things that may have happened to us as kids, and where there is an opportunity to bring the knowledge and the healing that you have gotten from that experience out into the world to make a difference in the world. But it's going to be very self-focused. It's going to be very reflective on, where we were hurt, because everybody's been hurt. Everyone's gotten messages that were conditioning, that were, that put you in a box that you didn't belong in. So it is about finding your authentic, true medicine for the world. So if you want to get on the waiting list for that, you can absolutely sign up. I'm going to have a link below for my free astrology workbook. And if you sign up for that, then you will be on my mailing list. And I'm going to do an email when the course is live. Also, just check out my videos. And if you think someone needs to hear this, please post it elsewhere, share it. Because like I said, for some reason, I have my presence in the algorithm got tanked and I don't know what happened. If you're not subscribed to me, please subscribe. I know a lot of people watch the videos over and over again and follow me, but then if you're not subscribed, I'm not going to necessarily show up given the fact that they're messing with the algorithm. Okay, I'm grateful. So grateful for every single one of you. I'm so grateful for being able to do these videos because they help me get grounded and remind me what the planets are trying to tell us. Okay, so this is a big one. And I don't say that often, but this is a big one personally. Okay, we can make big changes right now. Lots is coming in the next couple months, personally, I think. Collectively, it's been freaking nightmare central. So let's just bring it on home. All right, there's a reason and a season for it all. The cosmos is conspiring to help you. And stay in touch, stargazers. Please tell me what your habits are that maybe you're going to reconsider in the comments below. I've shared a little bit with you, but I would love to hear what you guys are doing and where you think maybe it's time for a big change. All right, until next time.